but it's all perfectly legal. No law has been broken. We're just optimizing our arrangements, and that's just good business. That's generally what you hear when someone from a multinational company is challenged about cheating on taxes. The conventional wisdom says that tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoidance is totally fine. In fact, the Collins Dictionary even defines tax avoidance as the use of legal methods to pay the smallest possible amount of tax. But the truth is, when multinational corporations set up all sorts of convoluted systems to shuffle their profits around the world to avoid paying their taxes, things start to get very, complicated. And unfortunately, our governments aren't properly investing in tax office workers who can do the checks we need to make sure companies follow the same rules that we ordinary people do. Before our tax workers can challenge a specific company by taking them to court, first, they have to spend the time and use their expertise to look behind all the smoke and mirrors. Most of these big companies contract top accountancy firms to help them minimize the amount of tax they pay. They pay an army of crafty tax-dodging enablers and finance lawyers to design ways to optimize their tax affairs, and they come up with all sorts of trickery. A big part of this is a process called risk mining. Basically, they come up with ever more complex ways to structure their clients' finances, pushing the boundaries of what could be considered within the law. They balance this with the risk of getting into any kind of trouble. And you can bet that both the multinationals and their money men, and it usually is men, have long since figured out that it is worth their while to take risks, because it's not actually that risky. A few years ago, a senior official from one of the big accountancy firms who was giving testimony to the UK's Public Accounts Committee admitted that his firm would sell tax schemes to clients even if they thought there was only a 25% chance of it surviving a court challenge. Even the OECD acknowledges that companies systematically try to underpay their taxes. In 1 year they looked at it, half of the companies were found to have filed incorrect tax returns trying to get away with paying less than was legally allowed. And the bigger the company, the worse that behavior was. It all loses us billions every year. Every year, the tax officials in wealthy nations get back billions of dollars in tax revenue from multinational companies by double-checking their accounts. But that only represents the unpaid tax they managed to catch. There are undoubtedly much larger sums that we never find out about because we don't invest properly in more tax offices. And poorer countries get hit much harder because they don't have the resources to go digging into multinational companies' tax strategies the way nations like Germany or the United States do. So, when representatives from some big multinationals are asked whether their tax affairs are all above board, a more honest answer would be, hey, we have no idea if it's legal or not, but we'll probably never be challenged on it. We're paying hardly any tax, and our sleek accountants say we'll almost certainly get away with it.